tips and equipment to improve your game. The latest from the leaderboards and your favorite courses.
Fearful of, could not believe the line as we got started this. It got up to Europe plus 170 as we started to see the teams getting formed. Scotty Scheffler winning out at Napa 2 weeks beforehand. We get here, and so all the thought was it was going to be home turf. We heard about this great, and the New York sports fans out at Bethpage. No, the Europeans are giving it to them. The morning foursomes have just ended with the U.S. had a couple of opportunities in the last two matches to at least get halves, if not win them. They have been unable to make the shots, to make the putts when they needed to, and it's another 3-1 Europe winning in the foursomes. The alternate shot matches, you have two teams. You have the Fleetwood Mac team of Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood. They're undefeated together since Rome last Ryder Cup, so they're 4-0. Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton are 4-0-1 playing together as teams. The U.S. has no answer to those teams. We'll get into it. There's lots to discuss. Keegan Bradley had a different formula. Supposedly, he was going to do things differently. We didn't see him do things differently when he made his captain's picks. We haven't seen him do things all that differently, putting these teams together. A lot of head scratching, a lot of questions to be had, and you're wondering there, at some point, he needs to take risks and do something differently, other than just putting the Duscher and JT out first. That really wasn't that big of a risk. Maybe JT was a risk, but Bryson DeChambeau is supposedly your second best player. He has to go out in every match. Scotty Scheffler, the number one ranked player in the world. He is as dominant a player we have seen on the normal tours since Tiger Woods. He can't seem to find the formula, just like Tiger couldn't find the formula in the Ryder Cup. At some point, Keegan's got to do something different. You have to turn to different people. I would have liked to seen the rookies a little more than we have seen them. So a lot to get in here over the next hour. We have pulled some of the interviews, the comments from the players here as they finished up their matches. We are awaiting the pairings. Don't know if they have been released yet for the Saturday four balls. They have, so we've got that for you as well. We do have an interview, very, very kind of one of the members of the PGA Championship Committee, Dr. Christopher Kane. He is the regional director for the Pacific Northwest and the Desert Southwest, the Nevada region. He's also the director of the PGA Management Program down at UNLV. He is going to join us at 8:30 as we're in transition, talking about just the whole process, everything that goes into the course, the selection, site selection, those sorts of things. So we had a chance to catch up with them earlier in the week. And obviously he's very busy out there this morning, but get a sense of all that's going on around behind the scenes, the selection process. There's more captains picks now. Could still the schism between LIV and the PGA Tour that is keeping maybe some other golfers that don't qualify automatically with the majors, accumulating enough points. Could there be some change to the qualification system? That will be affected if LIV ever gets official World Golf ranking recognition. Maybe that changes things there. So a lot to get into, but we will be all Ryder Cup for the next hour. We'll see if Dirt wants to come. He might be as hot as I am this morning over what we have seen, and then we will get you back into college football. It'll be Ducks then the rest of the day. So glad you are along with us. As we do, though, when we start out, let's go inside the ropes.
It's time for an insider's look at the leaderboards, the latest on all tours, plus local golf events and the latest news. This is Inside the Ropes, part of Golf in the Northwest.
So here we go. It is currently after 3 sessions, 8.5 points for the European team, just 3.5 for the American side. Europe only needs 14 to retain the cup. The United States needs 11 out of the remaining 16 points to fall their way in order to take the cup. And Europe would then have their third win on American soil recently. And all of this has come since it has expanded. The Ryder Cup used to be just the United States and Great Britain, essentially. When they expanded to include continental Europe, they have dominated, and they have been the only side to win on foreign soil. And so that's where we are at. But let's take a look and see how we got there. It began Friday with foursomes, a lot of hype. Bryson DeChambeau, Justin Thomas, trying to see if their enthusiasm for this event, as well as their risk-taking on the golf course, would go out there and take care of things. They got paired with Jon Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton. Bryson driving the green. Actually, we have that. Let me see where it is. This was the opening tee shot. Place was ready to go Friday morning early, just after 7 a.m. local time. This is what it sounded like. You got the hotkey page up in there? Do you have my hotkey page up? Hotkey 2.
Nailed it. That is perfect.
320 carries, no problem for Bryson. Look at that. That's how you get the crowd going.
That is unbelievable. That just shows you that the tone for foursomes, that is an incredible shot. Got to give him that credit.
They would win that hole. That was the only hole they would win the entire day, losing 4 and 3. Next up, Scottie Scheffler. So the U.S. putting out their 2 best players right away, trying to get the crowd on their side, build some momentum, and it totally backfired. Russell Henley has been not sharp, let's just say, to be kind. They lose 5 and 3 to Ludwig Åberg and Matt Fitzpatrick. Never really in it. It was they split the first 2. Europe won the first. Scheffler there, they got it on the second, and then 4 of the next 8 holes were won by Europe. They were 4 up, making the turn. And Scottie Scheffler, he couldn't make putts. He was back into his old thing. He would get, great looks. Russell Henley, they just couldn't make putts when they needed to, so they go down there. Then Colin Morikawa and Harris English, their group number 3 against Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood. Colin Morikawa has struggled since he has come back from the surgery that he had. He has not been able to find it. I don't know that I would have put him out in alternate shot at this point. I know he qualified automatically. Same thing with Harris English, but this is where maybe you need to read the room, and you took captain's picks for a reason. I would have liked to seen J.J. Spawn out here with somebody, maybe Harris English. That combination, I would have liked to have seen Sam Burns, Scottie's best bud on tour. You picked him. You took him. He was 16th in the standings. Why is he sitting on the bench if he is your captain's pick and special? Get there with Scottie. Get him comfortable to go out there. But it was a whitewash. Rory McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood, 5 up after 8 holes, and they close that match out 5 and 4. Schauffele and Cantlay. Patrick Cantlay, as much as annoying as he is on the PGA Tour for so many players, a human rain delay, he's nails in Ryder Cup play. And his play carried, even though Xander Schauffele couldn't really make putts when he needed to, but they dominated Robert McIntyre and Victor Hovland 2-up to get the lone point, closing out, winning holes 17 and 18. They almost gave it away. They were 3-up to start the back nine, gave it away, but closed it out strong. So that was the only point there for the U.S. Then in Friday 4-ball, Scheffler was paired with J.J. Spaun. Really liked that pairing. They couldn't do anything with Rahm and Straka. Won the first hole. Nothing after that. They go down 3-2. Ben Griffin, Bryson DeChambeau. Ben, one of the rookies. They couldn't get it going. They were solid there, but then Fleetwood and Justin Rose paired together. They dialed it up on the back nine, took the lead, and grinded out a 1-up victory. Cam Young, Justin Thomas, boy, it was all them. And Cam Young is the one U.S. player that, being a rookie, he is born for this. He is a New York native, seemingly thriving up there, understanding course conditions and how to play in that environment. 6-5, they blew him out. And Cameron Young has been a star, the lone star maybe so far for the American team. Burns and Cantlay playing together were able to draw the final match after falling behind early. They were able to at least earn a half point with Rory and Shane. I was surprised with the pairings this morning. Love Cameron Young going with Bryson DeChambeau. They went out early, took control of the match, won it going away 4-2, and Cam Young looks like he's going to be a Ryder Cup stalwart for years to come. How Harris English and Colin Morikawa went back out as a group together, I don't know. That should be, if there is a press conference, the first question to Keegan. You understand they want to go out and redeem themselves. Morikawa clearly does not have it. He doesn't have it this week, and you can't put him out there in alternate shot. I don't know what that was all about. They lose 3-2. Schauffele and Cantlay. Once again, this match, actually, Cantlay played great. Schauffele had a number of putts to win holes that they couldn't do. And then 16 was ridiculous. They had it all lined up. It looked like they were in position to win it. And Rahm and Hatton then flipped it on them. That whole match turned on hole number 8. They were tied after the U.S. had won 2 of the previous 3 holes to tie it up all square. A ridiculous side hill just above the bunker. Rahm was in jail, and he holed it. It was insane. And then the U.S. had a reasonable putt to tie it up, couldn't get it down, lost all their momentum. It was over after that. Scheffler and Henley playing together again. Scheffler thought he might have turned a corner, got a look at a putt on 11 they let him have, could have conceded, not let him see it go in. He was trying everything he could, but Henley once again was just scratchy. He was just scratchy. They couldn't ever get it back. They lose 1-up. And now the U.S. has a deficit that nobody has overcome after 3 rounds, at least in recent memory, 8.5 to 3.5. We'll come back. We will give you the pairings here for 4-ball matches in Saturday afternoon. We'll go back. It's going to be a Brookline Miracle that they're going to need. We'll hear from the groups after they were done playing today, see where their mindset is at and how much it changed after Bryson and Cameron Young put up the first point today, trying to build some U.S. momentum. And then we will talk to Dr. Christopher Kane, part of the PGA Championship group that is out there at Bethpage, and try to understand just how dynamic this event is and what it will take for the U.S. to come back, as we're just getting started. A special Ryder Cup edition of Golf in the Northwest here on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
I believe you deserve to be able to trust in your lawyer. This is McDaniel Reynolds with the Reynolds Defense Firm, and we specialize in just one thing. We represent good people facing DUI charges. I believe in practicing law with honesty and integrity. I believe that a few bad moments do not somehow undo an entire lifetime of being a good person. And I believe in what we do. We represent good people facing DUI charges. If you've been arrested, you need help, and you deserve to be able to trust in your lawyer. We're online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. The Reynolds Defense Firm. We're solid.
Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jason Swigard here with a special Ryder Cup edition of Golf in the Northwest as the U.S. finds themselves in a massive hole after 3 sessions, 8.5 to 3.5. Europe now just needs 5.5 of the remaining 16 points in order to retain the cup and win for the third time on foreign soil in this century. And they've been dominant. They have been making putts. Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood are nearly impossible to beat, as are Jon Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton. Those two pairings in team play, the U.S. has yet to come up with a formula to knock them out. We'll go over the pairings here for afternoon 4-ball matches that are going to start momentarily. But things started out looking pretty good this morning as Bryson DeChambeau and Cameron Young were able to get a point on the board in the opening match, doing it very well. Bryson talked about getting that first point up, trying to build some momentum.
For our country, it was just pedal to the metal. Cam played unbelievable today. We struck it well. We executed when we needed to, and we just put the pressure on them all day. They struggled to get momentum, and when we had opportunities, we took advantage.
And Cameron Young was hoping that could be a catalyst for later in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think we played a bunch of great golf yesterday, and I'm sure today's no different. I mean, we're hearing that the boys behind us are playing really well, so we've got a great team, and we've got some work to do, but we've got full belief that we can do it.
And right about that time, the U.S. was making a little push. Scheffler's group had gotten the match tied with McIntyre and Hovland. Schauffele and Cantlay were looking like they might be able to extend Rahm and Hatton a little bit, and Harris and Morikawa and English were actually extending the match with McIlroy and Fleetwood. They were up 4 up with 5 to go, but it could not keep it going, and that's because the U.S. simply could not make putts. And it was really about Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood, who have become such a wonderful pairing. They're good friends off the course back home in Great Britain. And so it was just comfortable for them, especially with Tommy Fleetwood leading the way.
Well, it's Rory McIlroy first. I mean, I can play from a lot of the places where he hits it, and we loved getting the chance to play together in Rome. Our games matched really nicely. Obviously, we're very close off the course. Like Rory's already said, our families are so close. But I'm just the lucky one that gets to play alongside Rory McIlroy in the foursomes, and I'll take that any day.
Rory, you've spoken about how hard it is to win an away Ryder Cup. We have witnessed what an away crowd is like, you particularly. How strong do you have to be mentally out here?
Yeah, you do. You gotta really just have to focus on the task at hand, and I think in the team format, foursomes, 4-ball, you can stick together with your partner and it makes it a little bit easier. Look, what Tommy just said, the feeling is absolutely mutual. It's an absolute pleasure to play alongside him, and we had a great time in Rome, and we've been able to back that up with 2 great wins here. Excited with where our team is, and we got to keep the foot down.
And I'm sure playing with Tommy Fleetwood's a little easier because we saw the crowd had been on Rory since he showed up at the place. Really, him and Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton are getting the worst of it. And Rory actually had to step off his approach shot on 16. I don't know what was said behind him, but it got him to step off. Then he got reset, and he absolutely stiffed one, and that ended up being the hole that allowed Tommy Fleetwood to close it out. And so if there's any indication if they're getting ready for it, that's it. So we've got Cameron Young and Justin Thomas are going to go out here. Looks like they're going out against we got Hatton and Rory going to play together here. And the European squad now has got a little flexibility to kind of mix and match with a 5-point lead. It looked like for a while Scottie Scheffler might be able to will his group to get Robert McIntyre and Victor Hovland, but an unbelievable turn of events late. Victor Hovland with a massive putt on 17 when it looked like Scheffler and Henley were going to be able to even up the match. And this, again, all of these courtesy of NBC's coverage of Ryder Cup, but this was Hovland and McIntyre after they survived and got another point for Europe.
Gentlemen, many congratulations on a fantastic win, an incredibly tight match. Victor, there are always key moments, turning points in matches. You hold a putt at 17. Just describe that one for us, because that was crucial.
Yeah, that was big. Hit a terrible 8-iron there to spin it back down the hill and left Bob in a tough spot there, but I was glad I was able to contribute on that hole and at least secure half a point, and then obviously getting the job done on 18 was incredible. It was a great match all day.
Bob, your first Ryder Cup away from home, your first point, obviously delighted with that, but just describe what it's like to play in this. I can only call it hostile, because it is hostile atmosphere out here.
Yeah, it's difficult, especially when you get in over this side of the road. But, you know, we've got guys like this to back you up. The guys in the changing room, the support staff, family, friends, and our fans as well. So, look, we're doing this for not just ourselves, but for everyone that's here. But yeah, just delighted to do it with this guy.
My man.
Victor, when we chatted earlier in the week, you said you were fueled by the disappointment of Whistling Straits. You didn't win a full point there. The team obviously lost heavily. Just how sweet is this moment for you personally?
Oh, it's so good. Especially after Rome, it kind of went as good as it could have gotten for our team, but we were very motivated to do the same over here, and so far we're doing the job, but there's still a long ways to go, and we just got to keep our foot down and keep playing well.
Really appreciate your time. Great playing, guys. Well done.
Thank you.
So there you go. Hovland, I think, will be the new Ian Poulter for Europe. It's feast or famine, but when the pressure is on the most, he seems to come up with the miraculous and the clutch putts, and he revels in it as they are just getting ready to go. So here are your 4-ball pairings, and the first match is ready to go. It'll be Justin Thomas and Cameron Young, who had a 6-5 win in 4 balls yesterday, taking on McIlroy and Shane Lowry, who played together yesterday, and the Irish flags will be out for support following them. That'll be followed up. Scotty Scheffler and Bryson DeChambeau. I think everybody knew at some point these two were going to be paired together. Thought it would be yesterday in 4-ball. Thought it might even be this morning in foursomes. But they will see if they can take down Tommy Fleetwood and Justin Rose, the good English friends. J.J. Spaun and Xander Schauffele. I don't know why Xander Schauffele is going back out. I really don't. He can't make putts when putts need to be made through 3 sessions. I know he's up there. Alternate shot. Every time that they had a hole where Xander was hitting the approach shot, it was great. They gave themselves an opportunity. But anytime he had to hit the 10 to 12 to 15 to put birdie putt to win a hole or to keep him in it and have it, couldn't get there. He's working through an injury, so I know there's physical things. He will eventually figure it out, but it's too close together. I don't know why he is going out this afternoon. Sam Burns and Patrick Cantlay was a pairing I would have liked to have seen possibly in some foursomes. This should be good. They're taking on Hovland and Fitzpatrick. That's a point, frankly. They should win. Rahm and Straka will be interesting, taking on Spaun and Schauffele. Boy, I thought Spaun would have been a perfect foursomes partner for a lot of different guys. Why he's only being used in 4-ball play. So unless there's something, I know that there's things that you get into with particularly, what kind of golf balls are they playing and those sorts of things. And there's some very technical golf stuff, and I'm not ignoring that. But that's all got to go aside for the U.S. They need dudes that can knock down putts. Sam Burns, #1 strokes gained putting on the PGA Tour this year, even better than Scotty. Why is he not playing alternate shot when you have to make a putt, whether it's to have a hole and keep it going or whether it's to put the hammer down as the first tee shots are off here in this afternoon 4-ball. So the U.S. is down 5. They need to at least take 3 of the 4 points here in this session to give themselves a chance. They were down 10-6 going into singles at Brookline in 1999, where they fueled the biggest comeback in recent memory. They've got Jim Furyk on the vice captain staff. He was part of that team. I don't know where Davis Love is. I don't know where Justin Leonard is. They can't be far away. Fly them in. They need to give a pep talk tonight, but the U.S. has to deliver. So let's take a break and check in with Dr. Christopher Kane, who has been out at Bethpage all week. Had a chance to catch up with them just about the event. How important has it become? Are more changes going to be coming as this event continues to grow? The weather, it has been very, very, very wet. I think that has been to Europe's advantage. Some of the other course setup things and what to expect in Ryder Cups in the future. We finally get a West Coast one in 4 more years' time, but we will do that. And then we're going to get on the phone with Dirt, see if he's as hot as I am about things, about this, and the U.S. Not giving themselves maybe the best chance to make this competitive down the stretch. We are making the turn here. This is Golf in the Northwest on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
It's the Great Notion Brewing
We are smack dab in the middle of day two. Matches in the second session here on Saturday. 4-ball just getting set to begin, but we are very privileged right now to have joining us the director of Region 14 of the PGA of America. He is the director of the PGA Management Program at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, Dr. Christopher Kane, who's out there at Bethpage Black, been out there all week. Good morning, Chris. Hopefully things have dried out here from Thursday and things are back on schedule.
Yeah, it's looking great. I tell you what, Jason, thanks for so much for having me on the call today, and we're just super excited about the 2025 Ryder Cup. We're experiencing just unprecedented anticipation during the week, and now we're here. We're just really proud to bring golf's greatest team event back to New York for its first time in 30 years. So Bethpage is quite a host. Looking forward to the final couple days here.
Oh, and we know the experience from the recent majors that they have hosted, and everything is as we have expected so far in this Ryder Cup. We'll jump ahead in just as far as events that the PGA of America puts on. There's obviously the PGA Championship, all of the club championships, junior PGAs, all of those things. But is this now the Ryder Cup? Has it developed into the most important event that the PGA of America puts on?
I tell you, all our championships are important, Jason, but, the Ryder Cup stands as one of the world's preeminent sporting events. I mean, the interest has never been higher, as evidenced by our competition day tickets selling out within 48 hours, if you can believe that. Ticket registry had 500,000 registrants. And it's just been an amazing opportunity for us to be able to tell all the viewers in about 800 million households worldwide and about 140 different countries and regions across the globe about what the PGA of America does. They put on premier championship events, and we also support growing the game out of our workforce of 31,000 members strong all over the country, and a great Pacific Northwest section PGA here in the Pacific Northwest as well. So it's really an awesome event for us. It's one of our premier events, and it's a great international competition that's had long history.
And it has had a long history, and it's so unique in and of itself. And part of that, the course and the course setup becomes such a part of it.
Yeah.
And we're looking at a very different looking Bethpage Black than we're used to seeing when they host, major events. They've hosted 3 of them here in this century, but we've seen the rough cut way down. What goes into course setup for a Ryder Cup team match play event that's different from a U.S. Open or a PGA Championship?
Yeah, great question. Kerry Haig, our chief championship officer, is one of the best in the world, recognized as one of the best in the world in putting on championship events, and especially with course setup. And, prior to the discussion about the rough being cut down a little bit and the fairways, probably a little bit wider than you would expect in a U.S. Open. There's been some changes to Bethpage since it was last hosted here. And, some of those changes included, widening the fairways on holes 10 and 11 and removal of a tree to the right of the par 3/8 just to give us a little bit more space there. And, the routing's going to be the same as previous championships. But a new tee was added forward and to the left of the existing tee on the first hole. And this has allowed us to build probably the largest grandstand that we've ever built. The build out is just tremendous here. Get the crowd engaged. We're really excited about it. And it'll give a viewing pleasure of the first tee and the 18th green in an amphitheater type setting. So, with course setup, we want it to be exciting, and we want a lot of birdies made. We want some eagles made. And, I would anticipate there'll be probably a couple of par 4s that might be set up to drive and a couple of par 5s that are going to be reachable that will allow for some exciting eagles. And, this isn't, the normal stroke play competition where you're adding up all the scores. It is just head against head. It is player against player, and that dynamic setting is, course set up to amplify that is going to be really exciting to watch for the viewers. So we're pretty excited about it.
Chatting here with Dr. Chris Kane from the PGA of America, the director of the PGA management program down at UNLV. He's been out there at Bethpage all week. We hear that, the home course, obviously, and the captain, Keegan Bradley, will get to have maybe a little bit of influence and input into the course setup, those sorts of things. And obviously, it's not all about the 17th and 18th holes, because a lot of matches somewhere around 14, 15, 16 could be decided there. Can you disclose how much influence maybe Keegan had in wanting to set it up, especially to tailor to his particular team this year?
Yeah, the home team captain does have some influence on course setup, whether it be, the European side or the United States side. And that's just kind of one of the home course advantages. When you speak to Keegan Bradley, though, oh, my gosh, we are so fortunate to have him as a captain, one of the most dynamic and widely respected leaders with a passion for the Ryder Cup that's second to none. And I don't know if many of the listeners out there know that as the number 11th ranked golfer in the world, he's the highest ranked captain on either side at the time of the Ryder Cup since 1986. So, he can play a good game too. So I'm sure all of that is going to add to some of the relevancy of not only the setup, but, strategy around picking the right players at the right time and setting that up for the foursomes and the four ball and the single play. So we're just super excited.
Was there some disappointment when he decided not to select himself as a player? Was there how much influence was going on maybe from the PGA of America, or was it strictly hands off, let him make his own decision because he's under enough pressure already?
Yeah, that was his decision he made, and that's something he believes. I'm sure that was the right call, and we're behind him 100%.
The weather forecast, obviously a fair amount of rain came early in the week, but the course was preparing for it, ready to handle it. How do you expect the weather's supposed to be pretty pleasant the rest of the time out there? How will that affect how the course changes maybe from play to day through the singles matches on Sunday?
Yeah, I think the weather's looking pretty good for this weekend. Thursday and Friday were challenging times, and when you have a lot of rain out there and conditions that are similar to what it's like in European play, you almost have to think that some of the golfers that are used to playing in this type of weather, might have a slight advantage. And, there's also a psychological factor that, if the weather's really poor and we don't get a lot of people coming for the turnout, that home course advantage might dissipate or be mitigated a bit due to the weather. But as far as the course setup is concerned and the weather we're expecting for this weekend to be great, I think the crowd here in New York, I think the players that are on the U.S. team, they're well versed in playing in weather that's not the best, and they're well versed in playing in great weather conditions too. So I think it's all going to work out. I think everybody has to play the same condition, and they're going to spring game, and we're going to have a lot of fun this weekend.
Well, we know New York crowds don't mind a couple of raindrops. It's plenty warm out there. Not a concern about that. Now we get obviously some of the future venues have been set, and so in 4 years' time, the rare West Coast Ryder Cup out there at the Olympic Club in San Francisco. It's been a while now. Portland Golf Club here in the Northwest, one of the few West Coast sites that's ever hosted back in the 40s. Is this something we know? The TV windows and those sorts of things for the West Coast aren't the most friendly in the world, but is this something that the PGA looking forward is trying to make sure it moves it around the country as much as it can?
Yeah, we have a long history of moving our championship events around the country just to represent the entire communities that support the game of golf. And you're spot on. 37 and 47 were the last time the Ryder Cup was hosted at the Portland Golf Club. That's been a little while, but we're excited. We're excited to get back to the East Coast at the Olympic Club in San Francisco in '33, as well in '28 for the PGA Championship. So I think we're going to have some great representation of our championships on the West Side. We don't have a schedule yet beyond 35 for the championship or 41 for the Ryder Cup, but I'm sure that the West Coast will be represented in the future.
Well, all of us here in Oregon would just wish there would be some more buildup around the Bandon area, because I think a Ryder Cup at Bandon would be the epic of all epics, but there's no infrastructure, unfortunately, out there. As far as we've got 3 live golfers, 2 from Europe, 1 from the United States involved in this year's matches. And I'm curious, with no reconciliation between the 2 sides in sight, has there been any discussion? Is it under consideration to change the qualifications, at least for the automatic qualifiers? Moving forward, I know Liv is resubmitted or is being consideration again to get World Golf Ranking points for its tournaments, and that obviously would change the dynamic too.
Yeah, I mean, the discussions are ongoing among all the allied associations, and as far as the PGA of America is concerned, we just want the best players to play in the best events, and I think we have the opportunity to host majors in 3 different tours. We have the LPGA major, we have the Champions Tour major with the Senior PGA, and then our PGA Championship now an international competition here with the Ryder Cup that's been going on for 80 to 90 years. So we're well versed in hosting the best events, and our position is we want the best players to play in the best events, and I think eventually that's going to happen among all the allied associations. But it's a complex consideration. They're complex discussions, and they're ongoing. And hopefully we can just get to a point where we can have the best players in the world playing in the best events in the world. And I think the PGA of America has done a great job in doing that.
Well, it's been a show so far. We're looking forward to it as we're right smack dab in the middle of these Ryder Cup matches out at Bethpage Black. Dr. Chris Kane of the PGA of America and the director of the PGA Management Program down in UNLV. Thanks to your crew. It's been fantastic watch so far. It always is dramatic getting down here to these 4-ball matches and then tomorrow's singles matches. What are you hoping to see besides an American win? What do you hope, though, the final scene comes down to Sunday in the singles?
Well, I hope it's a tight match. I think everybody wants to see a close match, and I think it will be. And, on behalf of the PGA of America and the 31,000 strong that work for the millions to help grow this game of golf, it is going to be an outstanding viewership. It's going to be an outstanding event that not only hosts one of the best competition, but supports a brand in the PGA of America in helping to grow the game and serve as many populations as we can. Everybody deserves to have a golf club in their hand. And after this weekend, I'm sure a lot of people are going to find their PGA Pro to play a little bit more golf.
And I'm sure we'll be all trying to implement whatever the epic determining, outcome shot we see this weekend. I want to go play that shot. And it's one of the beautiful things about the game. That's a public course. If you can get a tee time, you can go out and replicate it too. Dr. Chris Kane, thank you so much. I know it's a busy weekend out there. We appreciate your time here, and we wish you great weather and a fantastic finish out there at Bethpage.
Appreciate all you do, Jason. Thanks so much. Take care.
There you go. Thanks to Chris Kane once again. The afternoon 4-ball matches have gotten started as the U.S. is down 5 points. We'll come back. We'll get Andy Dirk Johnson on the horn. We'll preview what's coming up on Ducks game day and see if he is as fiery about what Keegan Bradley has done here through 3 sessions, finding his U.S. squad down 5 points, 8.5 to 3.5, needing a ginormous rally here this afternoon to give them a chance in singles on Sunday. Special edition Ryder Cup of the Golf in the Northwest here on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network. Just a few more minutes for the special Ryder Cup edition of Golf in the Northwest as the Saturday afternoon four-ball matches are underway. Justin Thomas, Cameron Young taking on Rory McIlroy, Shane Lowry. They have the first hole, tied the first hole. Scotty Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau are off now, taking on Tommy Fleetwood and Justin Rose. As do we have Dirt? Oh, Dirt.
I'm here. What's up, Swag?
There you are. I've been pretty heated. I could not believe some of the pairings for this morning's after what happened on Friday. Why are Xander Schauffele and Colin Morikawa out there in alternate shots when they cannot make a putt to save their lives? Russell Henley as well. I thought after what happened, you give them a shot. They're veteran guys. Maybe they figure it out. They get into the team. No, they didn't have it. J.J. Spaun was number 2 in points. Sam Burns is number 1 in stroke gained on the PGA Tour and is the best buddy of Scotty Scheffler. Can you help me out? Are you as hot as me?
No. I got nothing for you. It makes literally no sense. Keegan did an interview yesterday after the round, and they said, are you going to change up lineups? Are you changing the way you're thinking? He said, no, we're going to stick with the plan. And I like the rule number 1 of being a good coach is adjusting, especially to new information. And I didn't agree with the pairings to run them out there to start yesterday. But after you watch the way that they play and the way that they putt, at least some of the guys, like it's just inexcusable to run 3 or 4 teams out. Like I was texting with buddies this morning and somebody said, well, McIlroy and Fleetwood are unbeatable, so it's a sacrificial lamb, which is alarming to begin with, that we don't even have a squad that can contend with them. No and then on top of that, it's like, okay, if you're going to tell me Harris English and Colin Morikawa or whatever is your sacrificial lamb this morning, that's fine. Then you need to get at least a point out of Bryson and a point out of Scotty. And Bryson was the only one that was able to pick one up. It was nice to see Scotty play better late in the day, but too little, too late. You are encroaching on a disaster. I think you're probably already there. They need a miracle this afternoon, and if they don't put much up of a fight up this afternoon, you're turning into a absolute bloodbath and one of the most embarrassing Ryder Cup performances of all time.
No kidding. They were down 4 at Brookline in 1999 when they staged that amazing comeback. So I think they have to go 3-1 this afternoon if they're within 3. Why you wouldn't, if you're going to have sacrificial lambs, let's get rookies out there and see what they might be able to do. Let's put J.J. Spaun out there.
Why is Xander out there this afternoon? Why are we putting Xander back out?
I have no idea.
This morning?
I don't know.
You could putt better than that, Swag.
Well, not what I looked like yesterday, but nonetheless. I looked like Xander yesterday out at Heron Lakes, just 3 putting. Oh, I had birdie putts. I had birdie putts yesterday, and I looked like Xander 3 putting for bogeys. It was embarrassing. And that
you fit right in on Team USA.
Fit right in the red, white, and blue. The one silver lining for the American squad is Cameron Young. Looks like he's going to be one of those dudes like Patrick Reed was that just seemed to thrive in this event without some of the antics. New York native, you're hoping that he might be able to deliver. He's paired with JT as they went nuts yesterday, hoping to revive that.
Yeah, I mean, I think if this afternoon doesn't go the way that you desperately need it to, you're almost turning it into who are we finding that are guys that could be dogs every 2 years that we could ride for a while. I think that's been the most challenging thing for Team USA. Is think about all the household names that have been on Ryder Cups of past, Brooks Koepka, Patrick Reed, a lot of guys, Jordan Spieth that aren't there this year. And so it's a huge new crop of meat, if you will. And half of the guys have showed up and half of them haven't. So Cam Young has been a good, pleasant surprise. I hope to see him play well again today, and maybe that's something you lean on in the future. But he's one of the few bright spots, man, one of the few bright spots for USA so far.
All right, well, I know you're getting ready to head out to Grand Central Bowl. What do we got coming up on Ducks game day today for the biggest game of the season for the Ducks so far?
Oh, man, it's going to be fun. Yeah, Anthony and I will be out there 12 to 2:30 today, so stop by, say hello, bowl a couple games if you want. They got TVs, so all the games will be on, a huge slate at 12:30. It's just the anticipation is there. I woke up this morning thinking, hey, I'll sleep in. I got no kid this weekend, and I'm up at like 5:45 after watching the Beavs till 1 o'clock in the morning last night. Like, I'm just, all right, I'm wide awake. Let's go do this. No caffeine needed. We're pumped, ready to go. Should be a lot of fun today.
All right, well, we'll let you finish up. Get out to Grand Central. Thanks so much for a quick phone call, and have fun today.
All right, thanks, Wag.
There you go. Andy Dirt Johnson, 12 to 2:30 out at Grand Central Bowl for Ducks game day. Go out, enjoy them. And then Joe Fish, Schultze will be back for Ducks post-game tonight. We think around 9 o'clock. Of course, number 6 Oregon, number 2 Penn State right here on the Fan. Want to thank Dr. Chris Kane again for joining us. Let's hope the U.S. can find something and start a rally here and make this Ryder Cup one to not miss as you're enjoying all the football as well this weekend. Thanks to Schultze on the board. It is Sports Saturday with Joe Fish and Rashad Taylor coming up next. Until then, I'm Jason. Hit 'em straight.
Stone Creek Golf Club, named Oregon's best public course with greens fees under $100. Designed by Peter Jacobson, Stone Creek delivers scenic views, beautiful fairways, and some of the finest greens in the state. The ideal setting for your next round, event, or tournament. Save time and money. Download the Stone Creek Golf Club Tee Time app to prepay and breeze through check-in. Save even more with unbeatable twilight rates after 4 p.m. Great golf, great value. Download the app today. Visit StoneCreekGolfClub.net for more.
This weekend only at Old Navy, get 50% off jeans for the family. Yep, 50% off jeans for the fam. Grab everyone's favorite fall denim while the prices are incredible. Hurry in this Saturday and Sunday only at Old Navy. Valid 9/27 and 28. Select styles only.
Hey, Portland homeowners.